By April 2026, factories, warehouses, and refineries across India were bursting into flames. From Tamil Nadu to New Delhi, industrial facilities were being overwhelmed by sudden, catastrophic fires, pushing emergency responders to the breaking point. These blazes were ignited by a sharp spike in ambient heat. By late April, the thermometer in parts of the country had locked in between 40 and 45 degrees Celsius. Of the 20 hottest places on the entire planet, 19 were recorded right here on the Indian subcontinent. For the millions navigating these dense, concrete environments, escaping the relentless sun became a matter of immediate survival. Prolonged exposure to this level of heat pushes the human body past its ability to regulate core temperature, paving the way for heat stroke and rapid organ failure. These lethal temperatures and raging fires are the immediate, visible symptoms of a massive, synchronized failure in the Earth's climate system. Public health researchers at City University of Hong Kong and Nanyang Technological University have tracked exactly what happens during these prolonged thermal shocks. Their data reveals that extreme, extended climate anomalies inflict lasting biological damage on entire populations, stalling decades of progress in mortality reduction. The source of this specific threat was flagged months in advance by predictive models at Columbia University and India's SkyMet. They tracked an emerging anomaly and assigned it an 88 to 94% probability of dominating the global climate through the end of the year. To understand why climatologists are terrified of what they call a Godzilla El Niño, we have to look past the failing crops in Asia. We need to examine a massive, invisible thermal engine operating right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Normally, powerful trade winds blow continuously across the Pacific, traveling from South America to Asia. They push sun-warmed water westward, pooling it around Australia and Indonesia. This massively heats the air, sending vast amounts of vapor into the atmosphere to form dense storm clouds. Those clouds are carried by high-altitude currents across the Indian Ocean, eventually pouring down as heavy monsoon rains over the Indian subcontinent. This delicate atmospheric conveyor belt delivers the precise amount of water needed to sustain Asian agriculture. Any disruption to this engine threatens the food supply for billions of people. During an El Niño event, that engine breaks down. For reasons scientists are still studying, those steady westward trade winds suddenly falter and die out. Without the wind, that massive pool of warm water around Indonesia collapses, sloshing backward across the Pacific toward the Americas. The storm clouds follow the water east, taking the rain. In their place, a dry, high-pressure dome locks over India and Southeast Asia. This physical reversal of ocean currents shuts off the Indian monsoon. The moisture is stripped away, turning the entire subcontinent into a furnace. The 2026 event is uniquely dangerous because of its starting temperature. The Pacific Ocean is already running 1 degree Celsius hotter than pre-industrial levels, turning that returning wave of water into superheated fuel. At the exact same time, a temperature imbalance known as a positive Indian Ocean dipole is forming to the west. This secondary anomaly acts like a wall, reinforcing that high-pressure dome and sealing the heat directly over the subcontinent. The last time atmospheric mechanics aligned with this kind of brutal efficiency was 1877. The resulting drought caused a massive agricultural collapse, decimating nearly 4% of the global human population. The mathematical convergence of an extreme El Niño, a positive IOD, and record baseline global warming creates the threshold for a Godzilla event. Without the monsoon, millions of acres of farmland turn to brittle dirt. Yields for essential, water-intensive crops like rice, pulses, and oilseeds simply collapse. This localized crop failure instantly ripples out, triggering severe food inflation worldwide. Simultaneously, as temperatures spike, citizens crank up their cooling systems, placing a massive, unsustainable strain on local electrical grids. When those power grids fail, the city UHK public health data becomes a grim reality. Trapped in dense concrete islands without air conditioning, urban populations experience a sharp spike in lethal organ failure and spiked mortality rates. A Godzilla El Niño operates as a synchronized assault on the foundational pillars of global economic and biological stability. Humanity does have tools we lacked in 1877. Today, highly interconnected global trade networks and national grain buffer stocks can rapidly redistribute food to starving regions, while satellite warning systems give us months to prepare. To survive the heat itself, governments must officially classify severe heat waves as natural disasters, unlocking immediate emergency funding. We also have to rapidly deploy decentralized solar energy to keep cooling systems running when centralized power grids buckle. The 2026 Super El Niño acts as a permanent planetary stress test. Our civilization is being forced to aggressively upgrade its infrastructure right now, or face a future of continuous, lethal system failures.